Yeah, I saw a little bit about Bernanke with the FOMC meeting. And he's like, basically said he's nothing about taper. It's like, he said QE or the Fed policies of the Fed are not really set in stone. It's like when he talked about taper before, the markets got scared. But since he said like the policies aren't really set in stone, he's like, the markets looked good for the markets, so that was nice. But we're sitting on the edge of we're sitting on the edge of a cliff, basically, right? And it's like I don't think there's much. I think things are going to start changing a lot faster than people think, because they're going to have the talk with sequester coming up again here pretty soon. There's going to be major fights between the Democrats and Republicans about the budgets. And if interest rates start going up for real, the government ain't going to be able to meet its debt obligations and then get downgraded. So, I don't know, man. I mean, it's almost like, the guys are talking about the dollar's going to fall, the sky's going to fall, and all this crap. They always talk about it like Peter Schiff, he's a broken record. But I think the actual thing is going to start happening now. It's going to start cooking a lot faster than you think. A lot faster. And I really don't care what people do with their money, man, to tell you the truth. Actually, if I don't want to say, I could buy more silver, but I got a good amount. But say, for instance, somebody, I just found, I found a suitcase full of hundreds someplace, fiat dollars, and it was like, $4 or $5 million in there. You know what I would do with most of that money right now? I'd buy precious metals. I wouldn't even think twice about it. Not even twice. I'd be buying precious metals with that right now. So, that would be my decision. See, I'm stupid. I don't know. Yeah. I think silver's going to go up over 3 digits. No problem. No problem. Palladium is going to be thousands of dollars an ounce. Thousands. No problem. I ain't promising nobody nothing. I got a small audience on here. I ain't really worried. And rich people don't buy palladium or silver because they got too much damn money. I mean, you got a guy with like $1 billion. That's an astronomical amount of money. I mean, people can't even fathom what that is. But say you actually had $1 billion. Well, I saw a guy that had he had €1 billion in a CD, verifiable certificate of deposit, liquid, not like net worth. His net worth was over $1 billion, and he wasn't listed on Forbes, and he wasn't one of the Russians. A Jewish guy, man. But anyway, nobody likes him. I don't know why, but anyway. I'm gonna ad lib a little bit on a Jewish businessman later, but just here on the same video. But billion euros, and but nobody can fathom what that is, because it's like nobody can even fathom. The average person can't even fathom $1 million. But like you'd have to spend $1 million for every year, and that's considering you got no interest or nothing in on it, for 1,000 years to use up $1 billion. That's an insane amount of money. That also kind of tells you there's so many billions out there that this system ain't going to hold up, man. Because there isn't that many actual resources in the world that even back that up, even when you're figuring oil and everything else. What are you going to do? Say the molten lava in the earth backs it up? You can't get it. I could say the minerals on the moon back up paper, and I could say, hey, here's some paper, the minerals on the moon back it up. I mean, it's got to be stuff you actually can get to, right? That has industrial value right now, right? Can't be a pipe dream. I can see those stars back up the freaking the paper, right? But it's got to be right here. It's got to be right here. So I mean, when you say just by a stroke of a pen, you could say an acid backs something up. That don't mean shit, really. So I'm going to point that out too, because sometimes we think that we have all these minerals in the United States and the borders and all this oil, and then somehow that could back up the dollar again. Well, it really can't, because it's in the ground, man. You got to dig it. You got to dig it. And actually, at these prices, they ain't digging it no more, are they? They're not. They're not. So, looks like there's a few things coalescing at the same time, whereby Bernanke's going to, I don't know. I think he's going to keep on course. Maybe it'll be this Janet Yellen will be the next one, who's even more of a dove than Bernanke. But they're going to fight over sequester. They're going to fight over the budgets. And maybe they'll get diverted with war. And you know, this thing with Obamacare, you know, it's almost kind of funny in a way, because Obamacare, he put it off a year. But you got to remember, it's a law that says it's going to start such and such date. You can't put it off a year, because that means you're breaking the law, because the law says it's going to start at such and such a date. You know? It's like if you're paying your car registration and they say it's due in July or something like that, or June or May. You say, well, I'm going to put it off a year. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that shit. The law says it's due now. You know, it's going to start now. So he arbitrarily, I don't know, he's like the dictator, I guess, you know. It's ridiculous. But, you know, the other thing is, if interest rates go up, figure this. They can't pay the interest. They're not going to be able to pay the interest that easily. And you know what that means if interest rates go up? They get downgraded, because they can't meet their obligations. I don't know. Some people think the dollar is going to hold together forever. I don't know. You say so. I say no. I really don't care what people do, you know. Do whatever the hell you want. But you know, if I was like, I don't want to say that guy's name, but he had like €1 billion cash. Cash, man. And he was a dentist. In a small office with 3 people working for him. It ain't from this country. But, not from the United States. But, you know, it's like, a guy like that, he can't just go buy a pile of silver. He can't buy palladium either, man. If €1 billion, I think that would buy up all the investable palladium in the world for probably, if it was that much. I don't even know what's investable, but it's only like about 5% of the supply every year that's investable, that goes to investment. It's like nothing, and the supply is infinitesimally small compared to silver. And you know, they see silver's infinitesimally small compared to gold. So, I mean, that's why these people with big bucks don't go in these metals. Because they got too much money. They got to slide it over into some other freaking safe haven, you know, like, I don't know, a different currency or something, or some bond from some other country. It's kind of like, you know, trying to stay afloat on quicksand. But when you got metals, you really kind of have to always stay afloat, don't you? I mean, it only goes down so far. Everything else is quicksand. So you got a lot of money, you got a major problem. Now, I just want to ad-lib a little bit about on Jewish businessmen. Guys are good, man. You know, to the strength of the United States in a lot of ways, people disagree. They freaking, you know, right now there's this big backlash against Jewish people. I noticed this, man, on YouTube. And maybe like 20, 30 years ago, it wasn't there. Or maybe it's always been here a little bit, you know. But now it's gotten like more and more. And a lot of it's because of the theories about the Rothschilds on the internet and all this kind of crap, you know, because, you know, the Balfour Agreement and whatever the hell it is. But, you know, I'm going to tell you, reality is, and if you get down to nuts and bolts, Jewish businessman keeps the stuff together, man. They watch all the details, because I watch all the details, and I like working with those guys. They're good. And, you know, it's like, that's really what it is. You want to facilitate trade between 2 parties. You know, somebody has something here, somebody's looking for something here, and you facilitate that trade. And you know, it's like, you know, you're always seeking a person that can produce the best at the lowest price, and you look for the buyer. And you watch all the costs. But I always noticed, and this is maybe a cliche, but I always noticed those guys just look at all the details too. There's no waste. I noticed some people, like, call them goyams or whatever, goyams. It's like they get a lot of money, man. They piss it away, man. They're like freaking blowing it, man. It's like, oh yeah, I got all this money. Look how I'm going out and fucking spending $500 on dinners with some of their friends and shit. They're just stupid. They're stupid. I mean, with the goal, whatever. I'm gonna say nothing else, but I mean that's just how it is, man. So, there's a lot of anti-Semitism going on right now in the United States. I noticed that big time. And it's like Iran's a bunch of saints, and if I say anything where these guys aren't a bunch of saints, no, there's people that just don't like it. Oh, they just don't like it. Oh, no. And actually, Iranian people are cool. Most of them are cool. It's the freaking guys on the top. It always is that way. And maybe it isn't an exact one-to-one comparison, but that's what happens everywhere when you got the leaders get screwed up. If you look back in the 30s, look what the stuff happened. It could have been stopped right there. Oh no, they'll never do nothing. And I guess Germany never had global ambitions too. And then they got global ambitions under that one guy, right? You got a new plan, hey man, 1,000-year Reich, right? Hey, we got global. They never had global ambitions up until that point, though, did they? Right? I don't know, man. To me, I could see what's going on with Iran, but that's going to be another factor why silver is going to go through the roof. So, I'm going to actually start putting out more practical value videos too on how to do stuff, and actually on saving fuel. Fixing bicycles and all this kind of garbage, because I think people are going to be really strapped when we have a war with Iran. Man, I think the $200 barrel oil scenario, when it happens, I don't know when it's going to happen. When it happens, oil's going to go right through that 147 like butter, like nothing. And then you're going to see gold go right through 2,000 like butter. Silver's going to go right through 50 like butter, and the whole deal. Well, naysayers say no. That's fine by me. I mean, they laugh at me when silver goes down. I'm not going to laugh at them when the dollar goes down. I'm not. Because it's my own decision, right? But I could see the writing on the wall. And I'm not a bullion dealer. I'm not trying to sell anybody anything. And if I was that guy with $1 billion, man, it's like you say, you actually got a problem when you got that kind of money. It's too much money that you got to watch where you put it, because it's like freaking trying to find different places on quicksand. It's like here, because it's like you can lose it very easily. A lot of people think money, when you have that much money, it's just like, oh, just hold it in the bank. Well, you can hold it in the bank as long as that bank is good and everything's stable. But, nothing's stable anymore, is it? Right? And if you hold it physically, it's not that easy. Who the hell can you trust, right? So, actually, the small investor actually has it good right now, because the precious metals is a simple investment. It's very simple, very clean, not much to it. So do expect it to go up, and I think things are going to turn around faster than you think, because usually the majority gets it wrong. And I really wish if the guy said, when it starts going up, I want to say this to the silver community, whoever the hell watches this. Say, thank you, Ben. Thank you, Janet Ellen. You're doing a great job. You're helping our economy in the silver community. That's the way I would put it to them. Do not criticize them like they're a bunch of evil things, because they do hear it. They do hear it. I mean, it's not like they don't hear one voice, but they hear a million voices telling them they're an idiot. They criticizing the hell out of them. And what we got to do is tell them the exact opposite. Tell them they're smart, they're doing the right thing, and do it as a group, basically. And people holding medals are going to be doing great.